Hello and welcome to another Your Partnerships Meet. So glad to be on the set with Ildiko. Ildiko, you're used to the corporate media out here. What would you say about people that haven't been out before about the studio itself?
Well, I've used the studio myself
Yeah.
because, among other things, I record a podcast as well.
Yep.
New Business in Later Life, it's called. And I have indeed used the studio to record a few episodes of my own.
But it's so
And
it's so it's so laid back here, isn't it? It's just
yeah, it's
easy.
lovely. It's a lovely studio. It's got a few little areas, although I've only used the sofas.
Yeah.
But it's in beautiful setting, isn't it? In
We'll
the
have
in the
well, you
Cornish
and
countryside.
you and I have to do the kitchen set time. We'll find. So I can make a sandwich. What can you make?
Oh, I can make anything. I love cooking. I cook every
Ah.
day. I cook fresh every day. I love it. So yeah, that would be interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. So, welcome on the settees with Your Partnerships. Obviously, a value member of ours and everything. Tell people watching exactly what you work on. I mean, you've said a little bit already, but yes.
Yeah. So my new business is Uncorpreneurs Club. I turned 50 last year, and I had a feeling that if I want to do something amazing in my life, then this is the time.
Mm.
And it kind of evolved into, right, so I'm an encore entrepreneur because over 50 kind of came to realize that the end is now closer than the beginning was. It's just
I
a
love that when
matter of fact.
I love that when people say they're like 60 and go, I'm middle age. How long you gonna live?
Well, at 50, yeah, at 50, I could be in the middle. I mean, I may or may not live to 100,
Yeah.
but you know what I mean? If it's less than 100, then 50 is by default closer
Yeah.
to the end than the
Yeah,
beginning
it
was.
is. It is.
Um, and I then set up Uncorpreneurs Club, and within that, I do a podcast called New Business in Later Life. So
Mm.
I interview people who are in a similar position to myself, where they set up a new business over the age of 50, and we discuss their stories and ups and downs of running a business at a later stage of their life, because it's not just people immediately over 50. The
Mm.
oldest person I've interviewed so far is now 71.
Yep.
She set up a new business at 70 as a sort of pension extension
Okay.
in a way, and a year on she's absolutely loving it.
Cool.
She's thriving, she's glowing.
I c-
She's now gone abroad to help other people set up, so she's going international with it, and it's fantastic.
Do you personally have a plan to stop? I don't have a plan. I mean,
I don't know yet. I'm too young to decide that. But so far, every single person on the podcast that I asked, "Are you thinking of retiring?" Every single person said no,
no,
and a very distinct no,
no.
even in their late 60s or early
Yep.
70s. So I'm looking for finding people who are in their 80s or even 90s who started a new business and just
Mm.
drill into it, like what drives them, why, and what they get out of it. And my newest business that's launching end of May, early June, a date is yet to be set, but I'm certainly working on it, is a mentoring service for busy either startup or scaling up business people,
Mm.
business owners, entrepreneurs who are finding a little hard to find time for themselves.
Yep.
So my strength in me is my routine, where I look after my physical health, mental health, intellectual development, and spiritual well-being. So I treat myself as number one. I'm the number one powerhouse in my business,
Mm.
nobody else. And I treat myself holistically, and consequently, that gives me the power, the determination, the energy, the drive, and all that to run my business as best I can.
Yep.
So
We'll have to
I'm
talk about that more in detail later on. But
okay.
yeah, I start meditation every day personally. But I mean, everybody has different things, don't they?
Yes.
Yeah.
So go on, tell me, what's your routine?
Well, my routine, as I just said, start off with meditation itself, and then obviously like a normal. Well, I shouldn't say normal because it's just me. I never wake up. I never wake up. I might wake up and go, "Oh, I have X today," but I have to just look over my calendar a little bit and look at what's going on, and then the main thing I probably do more than anything is look at what breaks I'm going to take as well, because everything else is going to happen. There's no need to plan for the things that are going to happen because they're going to happen. But it's
Yeah.
around those things. I mean, it's even the breaks of making sure you eat.
Oh,
Making sure you
absolutely.
take 10 minutes for a walk. Whatever those important things are, because each individual's different, as we've just said.
Yes.
But yeah, that's kind of my routine. Is just, and I don't think I know I don't. Even though I have a planner to look at as far as events and things like, of course, of what I do, I look at things that are going to happen over the next year and a half in principle, but I don't sit and think about each week that way. It's more about what's happening that day, keeping it in the day. So,
Okay,
yeah,
interesting. But
yeah,
yeah, so my approach is to look at the individuals and find little, and I think you really hit the nail on the head of how I want to approach this whole thing with people is find little pockets of time in the
Mm,
day when you can introduce positive things, things that are good for you.
yep.
Instead of sitting down and scrolling through social media, maybe you can indeed meditate or go for a 10-minute walk, listen to the birds sing, and just disconnect yourself a little bit um, in order to refresh your own mind.
One silly one that I do every now and then is if I'm on I call it an admin day. I mean, it might be an admin. Basically, it's a day I don't have an event going on. You know how many events we do, so it's
Yes.
basically turns
So
into an admin day.
someone who organizes networking
Yeah,
events is, I
yeah.
imagine, pretty hard.
So some days there's non-event day, and obviously I'll have some calls and things like that. But if I've actually got literally 15 to 30 minutes, this is going to sound really weird, but I'll actually watch something cheesy on TV
Yeah.
just to switch off for a bit. I feel guilty about it, be honest with you.
Yeah,
But
because
also it's sort of like, but it also reminds me I couldn't just do that all day. Can you imagine just sitting and just watching TV all day? No.
I can't. And exactly, when you are a busy business person, you
Yep.
just can't. It is very, very hard to switch
Mm,
off. We just had
mm.
a weekend away,
Yeah.
and oh, it's so hard not to talk business.
Yep.
But then we took the time to go out into the grounds of the hotel and just walk and listen to the birds and
And you enjoy it more though.
yeah, and
Yeah.
walk barefoot in the grass and do a bit of grounding with that and
Yeah.
take in the fresh air. And you have to. But yeah, I mean, I did that very, very rarely. Like sit down when I get like I don't know, every couple of weeks I end up sitting down in front of the telly and it's like, can we just put something completely mindless
Yeah,
on?
just something stupid. It can't be.
Because otherwise I can't switch off.
But it's interesting, though. But it's weird. You kind of enjoy it a little bit as well because I mean,
Yeah.
don't concentrate on it. It's just home. But
Yeah, it's hard to plan. Like we went to see my in-laws a few weeks ago, and I sat down and started doing their puzzle that's out on the table. They do
yeah,
puzzles all the time, and then my mother-in-law said, "Oh, I'm quite happy to lend you some." And I'm like, "That's not the point. You're
it's
missing the point. The point is that at home, I would never
you're
have the
never gonna
time
do
to
that.
sit down.
Yeah,
Here, it's just so nice to sit down and do something
just do
completely
it. Yeah,
different." So yeah.
interesting. So your podcasts are going well, and your new entrepreneur uh, development, or
Yeah.
what's the best way you describe that? It's
Yes,
a
it's certainly
program
developing.
development. Yeah,
It's
yeah,
well, yeah. So
yep,
I will run a program.
yep,
I'll start with a group mentoring program. Um, for some reason, I think that might be easier
yep.
than finding individual clients, but potentially one can form from
And
the
do
other.
you plan on doing that online, face to face, or both, or what do you think?
I think online.
Mm.
If there is demand to do it face to face, then I'll definitely
Yep.
consider it. But I think, I'm in a number of business groups. The reach goes a bit further than just the city
Sure,
that I live in.
sure.
Especially, I think this is something massive that COVID brought us, that we can completely step outside of our home, our city, our office, and okay, even the world can be quite accessible. But
Mm.
for the time being, even if I just think nationwide, I'm
Yeah.
in a number of groups where there are lots of business people that I can reach out to grow my network, and people who are interested in this. So definitely thinking about doing it online indeed.
Yeah, that's cool. And like I say, you could do a hybrid there in between, or different groups could be different groups. You could have online groups, face to face groups, whatever you want to do. So yeah.
The launch one will be online,
Okay,
and
cool.
then see where it goes
See
from
where it
there.
goes.
See
See where
what the
it goes.
demand is
Yeah.
indeed.
As you know, we do most of our stuff face to face. We have some online stuff we do, but it's weird because we do then we do certain things which are just online, such as I do one every now and then with military, ex-military stuff like
Okay.
that, because they're all over the country, stuff like that,
Yes.
and everything. So different things. So yeah, you're right. Different things that work for different people at different times. No sense
Yeah.
in saying one's better or worse than the other.
Not
It's
at
just,
all.
yeah,
For me, I think personally, I much prefer doing networking in person.
yeah.
It's so nice to literally talk to people.
Mm.
And I find that when I attend online networking events, I find it a little harder to connect to people because there's just too many.
Yeah.
Even like many networking events are designed so that people can put into these little
Little groups, yeah,
smaller
your little
groups,
breakout
which,
groups,
yeah,
yeah.
breakout rooms indeed, which makes it a little easier.
Yep.
But still kind of a little difficult to maintain their ongoing relationship. Now, obviously, I need to learn all this with my new launch, but then
Yeah.
doing training sessions, because when I deliver my program, there is effectively a workshop where people will learn new skills or just enhance their existing skills. So that's slightly different.
It is different. Well, one thing that's not different is we're running out of time, so we're going to need to
Oh,
wrap it up. But that's
always,
okay. That's
always.
okay. But after this, I get to go on yours, so we'll talk even more anyway. Even though it's a different
Cool.
podcast, you'll have to find if you like this podcast, find the next podcast. There you go. Continued conversation. Yes.
Yes,
So from Corker Media, thank you so much for having us out today. Ildiko,
indeed.
thank you so much for all that you're doing, and I know we help each other all the time, so I really love our relationship with that as well. So
Well, Brooke, thank you so much for inviting me to the Your Partnership podcast.
thank you very much.
And yeah,
We'll see
lovely
you.
meeting you.
See you soon.